Hey guys, it's Mrs. Shevchuk, and today we are going to be solving inequalities that contain negative coefficients. We'll be solving them, we'll be graphing them, and we will be writing our answers as inequalities. And those are going to be ones that will have positive or negative coefficients, and they could be one-step or multi-step inequalities. All right, our first inequality is with all positive numbers, so we'll go a little faster through this one. We've done these before. We are going to start by trying to figure out what our boundary point is by solving this for x. So I'm going to take 6 off the left and take 6 off the right, and that leaves me with 2x on the left, and 12 minus 6 is just 6 on the right. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to divide this side by 2, and now I'm left with x and 3. I'm intentionally not putting a symbol there right now. What I'm going to do is go up top and look at where we started. We had less than or equal to, so that means I'm going to make sure to close in my dot as I make my graph. Close in that boundary point, okay? So let's set up our graph over here, and I'm going to just go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to put a closed circle above 3 to show that that is our boundary point. That's the point that separates all of our solutions from our non-solutions. But now what we have to figure out is our line going to go to the left or to the right? And so the way we're going to decide that is we're going to pick a test point. Today's test point, I'm going to pick 0. So 0 will be my test point, and I'll box that up so my teacher knows which one I used. And we're going to take that test point and plug it back into our original inequality. So instead of 2x, I'm going to say 2 times 0 plus 6 is less than or equal to 12. And we're really just trying to find out, is that a true statement? If it is, then 0 is a solution. If it's not, 0 is not a solution. All right, so now I'm just going to go 2 times 0, well, that's 0, plus 6 leaves me with 6. So is 6 less than or equal to 12? Well, yeah, yes it is. 0 is a point that's going to work on here. Well, guys, if 0 works, that means everything on this side of our boundary point works. So our solution looks like that. It's a closed dot at 3 with an arrow going towards the left. Okay, now how do I say that? Well, those are all the numbers that are less than or equal to 3. Okay, so I'm going to put that in as my final answer. X is less than or equal to 3. Now let's see what happens on this next one when the only thing that I change is I made this first number a negative 2x plus 6 less than or equal to 12. All right, so we're still going to start with drawing our line down the center, and we're going to work to isolate our variable. I'm going to take 6 off both sides, and what I have left still is negative 2x and 6. All right, then I'm going to divide by negative 2, and I'm left with x and negative 3. So my boundary point is going to be at negative 3 this time. So I like to just kind of put that in the middle of my number line, and then I have to make sure that I'm filling it in correctly to the right and to the left of that. Be careful when we're working with negatives so we don't mix those up. So to the right of negative 3 would be negative 2, and then negative 1. And then if I go to the left, I'm going negative 4, negative 5. Okay, so now we have our number line set up. We know we're going to have a closed point at negative 3 because it was less than or equal to. All right, so now we need to pick a test point to find out, is it going to the left or to the right? And so my test point this time, let's go with, how about negative 1? So test point negative 1, I'm going to box that up so I know which one I used. And now we're going to substitute that into our original inequality. Negative 2 times negative 1 plus 6, we want to know, is that less than or equal to 12? Well, negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2, and 2 plus 6 is 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 12? Well, yep, it is. So that means negative 1 is a solution. Oops, I'm going to put that here. Which means that our solution set moves over here to the right. All right, and then this time when I write my inequality, I have to look carefully at my graph, and I see that this graph shows all the numbers that are greater than or equal to negative 3. So x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Now what you might notice here is that our inequality symbol over here that we started with switched by the time we got to the end, right? we can't just drop down less than or equal to, because that's not going to leave us with the same answer. That's going to give us points that aren't going to be solutions to this. Okay, let's try another one and kind of see if we're noticing if that happens on all of these negative coefficients or if it's just sometimes. All right, on this third example, we're going to start the same way. We're going to work to isolate our variable. We're going to add 4 on both sides and drop down what we have left. I've got negative 6x and 18, and then I'm going to divide by negative 6 and divide by negative 6, which leaves me with x on the left and negative 3 on the right. And again, this is going to be my boundary point where I put my dot. All right, I'm going to go back up and look, and I notice that on this one, it is just a greater than, so it does not include the boundary point, meaning I'm going to leave an open circle at negative 3. So here, let's go negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. So open circle at negative 3, because negative 3 is not going to make this inequality true. Now let's pick a test point again. This time I'm going to pick 0. That's always a nice test point to use. And box it up here. So my test point plugged back in will be negative 6 times 0 minus 4. We want to know, will that be greater than 14? All right, well, negative 6 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Is negative 4 greater than 14? No. That does not make this inequality true. What that tells me is that 0 is not going to be a solution, and my my graph of my inequality has to go in the opposite direction. So it's got to go to the left. Okay, so again, our original inequality started with greater than, but by the time we ended, our final answer here is x is less than negative 3. So what's going on here? Well, in both of the last examples, we were dividing by a negative number, and when we did that, our inequality symbol ended up switching directions, okay? It becomes less than instead of greater than, and that's going to happen every time that we divide by a negative or multiply by a negative when we're working with inequalities. That's why it's really important, guys, that we're taking this test point to make sure that we have our graph going the correct direction. All right, let's try one more here. So this time we have some division. We have x divided by negative 3 plus 8 is less than 6. So first step, we need to make sure that we are subtracting 8 from both sides, because that will cancel out the plus 8. And when I do that, I'm left with x divided by negative 3. And on the right side, 6 minus 8 is negative 2. All right, now if you want to, you can bring down that inequality symbol. But when we get to this next point where we have to multiply by negative 3, then what you have to make sure that you're doing is that you are switching the direction of that. So instead of it being less than, I switched it to greater than because I was multiplying by a negative number. All right, and then on the right-hand side here, negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. So this says x is greater than 6. So let's put that on our number line and check it before we write it as our final solution. So I'll just throw 6 in the middle, and then we'll go 7, 8, and work backwards. Okay, so everything greater than 6, that's going to be an open circle. And so we're thinking it's going to be going to the right. So let's pick a test point maybe over there. Let's do 8 as our test point. All right, so, oh, you know what? Ew, I don't want to use 8 as a test point. Do you understand why? 8's not divisible by 3. Doesn't mean we couldn't do it, but what I would maybe do is add one more point on my graph. I'm going to pick 9 as a test point, just because it's nicer math to work with. So I'm going to go 9 divided by negative 3 plus 8. Is that less than 6? All right, well, 9 divided by negative 3 is going to leave us with negative 3. And negative 3 plus 8 is 5. Is 5 less than 6? Yep, of course it is. So that tells us that our test point of 9 is a solution. And so our graph is going to go to the right. And so our final solution is if looking back up here, all the numbers that are bigger than 6 or greater than 6. X is greater than 6. So again, our inequality symbol switched directions when we were dividing by or multiplying by a negative number. So in summary, whenever you're going to multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, the inequality symbol has to flip directions. And that's why using a test point is so important as we're graphing and solving our inequalities. Thanks for watching.